Welcome, friends, to the Chieftains Tavern, where entrepreneurs gather for cold ale, good company, and a heaping portion of battle-tested strategy. Learn how to align with your ideal clients, inspire them to take action, and profit in the online realm.
Hello and welcome to the inaugural episode of the Chieftains Tavern, where we show you how to build an audience around your authentic self. My name is Kate McKnight. I'm one of your hosts, and I've got my co-host Lee over here in the red corner. How's it going, Lee?
Hey, glad to be here. How are you?
Doing good. I'm going to try to sit here for as long as I can. My back is a little sore. Decided to get back into exercising and, boxing, working out, the usual, after what seems like a 7-week hiatus from any physical activity. But
let's tell the truth here. Let's tell the truth here. You beat the crap out of somebody, didn't you?
Actually, the coach beat the hell out of me. Hit me in both eyes.
Oh.
Made me cry a little bit, but I'm like really out of shape, but I do enjoy beating on people occasionally. So, hence the Viking hat.
Absolutely.
This is the most medieval themed thing I could find in the house. So it sort of works, right?
That is the best. That's the best hat ever. That
Yeah.
really is.
It might be a weekly staple on the show. I haven't decided yet, but anyway. So we're happy to be here. Like I said, this is the first episode of the Chieftains Tavern. So we just want to dive right in and talk about what the show, what the idea is all about. And it really turns into driving beliefs. It all comes down to driving beliefs and how that can explode your business if you know how to leverage it.
That's funny. I thought we were talking about 3 ales you must drink out of the skulls of your enemies before you die. Number 2 will shock you. That's not it?
No, that's next week.
Oh, okay. Driving beliefs. All right. Well,
yeah.
That's cool. All right.
Yeah. So I mean, what does driving belief even mean? Like, what is that? What are we even talking about?
Well, there's so many things that people put into their businesses that they feel like they have to get right. They feel like they have to, get their video set up right if they're recording video casts, and they have to, set up their funnels and all these pieces and shiny buttons and WordPress plugins and all these wonderful things that they think that they have to succeed. But what most people don't have is their why it is that they're starting the business in the first place. So I'm not talking about just make money, right? I mean, we all have to make money, but that's what I'm talking about, is really the belief inside you that drove you to start this business and to make you want to do this for other people instead of doing something else with your time.
Yeah, totally. And I think something I had never really thought about until we started exploring this idea together was, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, coach, consultant, whatever you might be, you have your own why for why you maybe started your business in the first place. But there's also, and sometimes it's the same why, the same belief that connects with your audience. But sometimes maybe that why is a little bit slightly different. But it's not just why you do what you do. It's like why your audience will connect with you and why they turn to you and not anyone else in the market.
The other people, is in just about any niche, you're going to have competitors. And what we're teaching is we don't want you to have to compete. We want you to be able to stand out on your own and be able to shine because of what you believe inside, and to attract the people that resonate with those beliefs or closely enough that they want to follow you instead of going and spending their money with somebody else.
Right. And that's one of the reasons that having your driving belief and nailing that down is so important. When you know your driving belief and you know how to connect that to your ideal audience who believes the same thing, there is no such thing as competition. So, but I'm really jumping ahead. I know I'm excited about the topic. So Before I dive in any further, basically what we want to set up for you today is why your driving beliefs matter and how they can really impact your business if you allow them. So there's 3 key things we're going to focus on so you guys don't get overwhelmed. But yeah, so the first reason why driving beliefs are so important is this: you can build your success without competing. Like seriously, there's no competition. It doesn't matter how saturated you think your market is. If you know your driving belief and you can connect with just those few other people, it doesn't have to be a billion people. It just needs to be a few thousand, a few hundred. If you can connect with them with your driving beliefs, you're not having to worry about competing with anyone else.
Exactly. And just to give you an example, I mean, our driving belief for Connect with Your Clan is simply that we believe that with a small audience, if you're being authentic and you're articulating and communicating your own beliefs effectively, that you don't have to worry about standing out in a sea of competitors and trying to win people with lower prices or faster turnaround times or whatever it is that you do. You simply stand out as yourself, and the people who resonate with what you say and what you believe are naturally going to gravitate to you.
Mm-hmm. And so one of my favorite things about this is that really what makes you weird or what makes you think, oh my gosh, I'm a freak, no one's going to listen to me, that's the exact reason your clan is going to love you. That's why you don't have to compete with anyone else, because your clan's going to love that you're a little bit weird because you're the same flavor of weird. So yeah, just own it. Embrace your weirdness. We clearly are.
Well, we're struggling with it a little bit today. At least we are over on this side of the fence, but that's okay. As I talked a little bit earlier, too, about not needing to sell as much when you're coming from an authentic place and you're able to articulate your beliefs. We have this belief in the marketing world that we're constantly, as they say, always be selling. And, that's exhausting. You and I have both been in the copywriting business for years. And you know as well as I do how difficult it can be to constantly try to be convincing people of why they should choose you instead of going to the next person, especially when people are trying to treat you like a commodity. If you're a coach, if you're a course creator, if you're a consultant, there are a lot of people out there who will treat you like a commodity. And so then the only things that you have to compete on are speed and price. And that's a hell of a way to live. That's a pretty exhausting way to run a business, actually. I did that for several years when I started copywriting because I thought that that's what I had to do. You're a copywriter, you're not well known, you're not, not on the cover of magazines or whatever. And so, if people want you to say, I'll work with you if you'll do it for half price, then, that's what you have to do.
Right.
If you want to get paid. And that's exhausting. That leads to burnout in a hurry. And, I've been in that burnout place more times than I can count. And, it just sucks. I mean, it makes you just want to go, you know what, I'll just go back to my job. And, nobody wants to do that. So
right.
What we found is that when you're communicating those authentic beliefs, when you're driving beliefs, that you don't have to sell as much. You get people who like and trust you for who you are, and they don't become as worried about what they're going to have to spend or how quick they can get it, because they like you and they trust you, and they're going to hire you no matter what.
Totally. So Lee, how many times as a copywriter have you heard like potential clients or clients ask you, can you write this or do this without making me sound salesy? Or how many times have you heard, okay, but I just don't want to sound salesy? I'm sure like you've heard that as many times as I have. And so there's this misconception out there, I guess, that copywriters were some sort of like snake oil salesmen. We're out there conniving people and tricking them into buying your product. But like when you have a business that's built around your driving beliefs, it makes the copywriter's job a breeze. Or you, if you're writing your own messaging, you're not selling, you're not being salesy. You're literally just talking to people who genuinely like you for you, and you're doing them a service by saying, oh, by the way, I have this book or this course or this service that can really improve your life. And there's nothing salesy or sleazy about it. And that's one of the things that I love about knowing what your driving belief is and knowing how to connect with those people and how to articulate that. Because once you really get that, like you said, there's no sells to it. It's literally just saying, here it is. If you want it, cool, buy it. But and I guess it's part of it that you create influence, but it's not the kind of influence where you have to like hypnotize people into building rapport. You build rapport naturally through just talking to them as one human being to another. So, yeah.
Well, exactly. As for the being salesy part, yeah, that's what they're generally thinking about there is that, there are a lot of copywriters out there who do think it's necessary to really put on the sleeves, and, they're drawing off of some of the old school copywriters, and, they're doing it wrong. They're seeing they're seeing the techniques and tricks, but they're not seeing what's going on under the surface, which is, again, communicating these driving beliefs. These are the people that tend to think that copywriting or any form of marketing is just like putting a puzzle together. Like you're putting, you put this piece and you put this piece next, and then you put this piece on top, and then suddenly, boom, you've got something that's going to sell $1 million. Mm-hmm. And if there's nothing behind it, if there's no emotion, if there's no conviction behind it, mm-hmm. then it's not going to sell, even if all the pieces are there and it looks on the surface like it should work. It's not going mm-hmm.
to. Mm-hmm. And what also is really cool, I'm going to try to not derail us and go down too deep of a rabbit hole, but the emotional bond that you create through that driving belief, it's not just like my or Lee's idea we just pulled out of thin air. It's really, it's a biological thing that happens when someone else's beliefs match up with your own. There is science to back all of this up. That was the point, I guess. This isn't just something I pulled out of my crazy head. My Viking hat.
Yeah. What else you got in there?
Not much. It's pretty sparse up there today.
Yeah.
Like I said, the coach beat all my brains out today, I think. But yeah. So yeah, besides the driving beliefs taking away the need to sell, because of that emotional bond and that trust that it creates between you and your clan, what else are they good for?
Really, to me, driving beliefs is really just critical for having a business that you can actually enjoy running. I talked a little bit about my early years as a copywriter, and I'll be honest, when I started it out, I was planning to leave a corporate job that just sucked out my soul and munched on it and spit it out on the sidewalk. But when I first started copywriting, it was just solely just to make money. It was just, hey, I get to stay at home. I get to, do my work in my pajamas, and, life is good, except it just didn't stay that way for very long because I really didn't have any conviction behind it. There wasn't anything inside of me that made me excited to get up and do what I did every morning. Mm-hmm. And so then freedom actually became its own prison, just simply because I found that even though I was technically working for myself, I was really just doing another job. Mm-hmm. And I think that a lot of people, in coaches, even consultants, also feel that way. When they start something just because it's like, well, okay, it's a good opportunity. They see the opportunity there and start looking at dollar signs, and there's really nothing to back it up. No inner drive that makes them want to help people, that makes them want to use what they believe to make a difference in the lives of others. So, and with those driving beliefs, everything changes. You actually want to get out of bed in the morning. You actually want to call that client instead of going, oh man, I have to pick up this phone again. So that's it. Man, we're just fumbling all over the place today.
That's okay. First one, it's rough. No, yeah, and not only does it, I think, give you a good kind of your own motivation to get out of bed and be excited about what you do, but it also makes your business more fulfilling because, again, I can't stress enough, you literally start attracting the people you want to work with because they resonate with your authentic message and your driving beliefs. So that's the other reason that it's so easy to get out of bed, because not only are you doing what you love, you're doing it with whom you love. So for example, like back when I first made my little venture into running my own coffee shop, thinking I got this under control, no problem. And I really didn't know how to manage clients. I really didn't care who I worked with. I just wanted, whoever pays the invoice, they're all good in my book. And so I ended up working with several less than perfect clients, but one in particular who just ruined like 5 weeks of my life because it was just an ongoing project. And if I had from the beginning said, I want to work with this type of client, I will not take this type of client, so on and so forth, I could have gotten those 5 weeks back and spent them with someone I really enjoyed. But I wasn't focused on putting my driving beliefs first, or even putting those out there for the world to know. I was just, hey, whoever will pay my invoice, come work with me. I will create brilliant stuff for you. And so it's so not worth it to build a business like that.
Yeah. Just out of curiosity, was that the crap in a box client?
No. So worked with
crap in a box story.
Okay. So yes, Crapogram. I really hope they still don't have a business because it's a terrible model. But basically, if you have a ex-lover who has offended you in some serious way, or basically anyone you want to get revenge on, and you would like to literally send 2,000 tons of crap, or 2,000 pounds, sorry, of crap, like elephant poop. I think that was their premium product, was elephant poop. You could do cow, pig, whatever, but elephant poops for the really bad stuff. And they will dump it in someone's yard anywhere in the continental US. They don't ship elsewhere, But so I was writing copy for these people. And I mean, I was literally selling crap. And I was like, what is wrong with me? Why am I doing this? Because I love writing and I want to get paid, right? But there's more to it than just doing what you want. It's doing it with who you want and really making a difference in someone's life. I don't think me selling poop made a difference for the better in anyone's life. So yeah, that's really a perfect example. Yeah.
I don't even think I have a client story quite that bad.
See, at the time I was mortified and embarrassed to talk about it, but now it's like made for a good story.
Absolutely.
All worth it.
So I know that in some of the posts that you put on Connect with Your Clan, the Chieftains room page, you've talked about some examples of brands that have used driving beliefs to achieve their success. You have one of those that you can pull out of your Viking hat there for the 6 people that are probably watching this video.
Woo! Our clan. Probably just the first one that comes to mind is kind of an obvious one, but Apple. I mean, these guys, Steve Jobs, built this company on a very clear driving belief about beautiful design and function and being different and thinking different about technology. And that is like, okay, I'll just go ahead and confess, I am not an Apple person. I don't own a MacBook. I sure as hell don't own an iPhone. I don't think I've ever used one. I know that's like a mortal sin, but the people, I know as an outsider looking in, I know that the people who are into Apple are like hardcore into Apple. So I have to ask, are you one of those, Lee?
No, I'm not.
You're not an Apple Nazi?
No,
Okay.
No. We're down to 3
Okay,
people.
well, good. We're on the same page. Okay.
I think we just lost a few.
Oh, okay. Well, I have nothing against you if you are. Honestly, I had never, growing up, never had the money to afford one. And now I'm just like, out of spite, like, well, PC's good enough for me. Android's good enough for me. So yeah, I just haven't ever switched over. But again, the people who are into Apple are hardcore into Apple, and not even always because of the technology, but just because it's their brand and they love the vision behind it. So that's the main one that sticks out in my head, in my Viking skull.
Well, just to wrap up, the 3 reasons driving beliefs are critical to your business. 1, it allows you to build your success without competing. 2, it means you don't have to sell, because when you're coming from your authentic beliefs, you sell yourself. And 3, you can actually enjoy what you do instead of selling 2,000 pounds of elephant shit. Now, if you're having any trouble nailing down your driving beliefs, or you'd like us to help, or you don't even know where to start, what we'd like for you to do is go to www.connectwithyourclan.com and join our free Facebook group, Connect with Your Clan Chieftains.
Are we done? Oh.
I guess.
I was going to say bye, but no.
Okay. Well, that's all we've got for now. So this is Lee Rowley saying, see ya.
This is Kate McKnight signing off. We will see you next time.